Photography, the grand passion. The click of a camera gathers our emotions, tells a story, and brings to life special moments. It is evident that to obtain a beautiful photo, an adequate camera is required. And so the story of photography has been one of technological research into equipment, lenses, and varied devices. We can say that photography has developed thanks to a large American company, Kodak, which was founded in 1880 with the construction of the first photographic plates and the launch of the first photographic camera in 1888. Why have we spoken about Kodak? What is the relationship between Potenza Picena and Kodak? With a simple walk along the lanes of the historical centre, you will come across the former church, Saint Catherin of Alessandria, inside of which is located the Kodak Museum. It has a collection of around 300 photographic devices, with 90% still in working order, all carefully conserved and catalogued. The collection has been curated by Enzo Romagnoli, who for 50 years has searched the world for this extraordinary collection. It was all triggered when 17-year-old Enzo found in his hands a small book that told the story of George Eastman, founder of Kodak. It was attached to a gift, his first photographic camera, a Kodak Instamatic 133. George Eastman was a great industrial inventor, but more importantly, he was a great philanthropist who constructed hospitals, medical research centres, and was always ready to intervene on behalf of the disadvantaged. His story triggered in Enzo in 1968 the motivation to remember this great person by collecting photographic cameras that were produced in every period from all around the world. In 2013, Enzo made an extraordinary gesture towards his fellow citizens and those passionate about photography by donating his collection of precious cameras to the local administration of Potenza Picena. Following a further amplification of the collection, a second inauguration was held, which was attended by Rodney Ford, Cultural Attaché of the American Embassy. To date, this museum is the only one in Europe based on the theme of Kodak, while the only other museum of this type is in Toronto, in the Ryerson University. The museum in Potenza Picena is divided into 4 sections. The first regards cameras that use 35mm film rolls and is composed of 86 pieces. The world of photography was revolutionised by this system, which is still in use today, as it greatly reduced the dimensions of the equipment needed for photograph taking. The cameras were produced in Germany by Kodak AG, in Great Britain and in the USA. It is possible to see some pieces that have made camera history, such as the Retina 2A Type 150 camera, produced in Germany from 1939 to 1941, which is equipped with a telemeter and frame counter. Only 5,107 cameras of this model were produced, and for this reason it is rare and much sought after by collectors. In the museum there are 2 examples exhibited, the Ektar and the Xenon lenses with shutter speeds up to 1/500th of a second. Retina 3 C-Type 028, another camera on view, was produced from 1958 to 1960, mounted with a 50mm Xenon f2 lens by Schneider, with a telemeter, a light meter, and the viewfinder has 35, 50, 80mm frame for the focus that allows the use of different lenses. This demonstrates that it was a very sophisticated, robust and reliable camera, top of the range of foldable retinas. Then there is the Retina Reflex Type 125. It was produced from 1957 to 1959 and was the absolute first 35mm reflex camera of Kodak. It uses the Type C focus, in common with the Retina 2C, 3C cameras. The camera has reflex shutter blades that work at 1 inch per 1/500th of a second. The light meter is not matched, but is that of the Retina 3C. also on display are the models 35 and 35 rangefinder, the first 35mm device constructed in the USA. The Kodak 35, launched in 1938, was the first camera produced in the USA instead of Germany. This was to avoid the German blockage which had previously affected the Retina model. The camera has a Bakelite case and doesn't have a telemeter. The folding viewfinder is situated on the central superior part. The Model 35 rangefinder is the improved version of the 35, launched in 1940 with a separate light meter added and the viewfinder integrated within the body, like the style of the Leica. However, these two models were not a great success due to their high price. The second section concerns the box cameras and solid box cameras with 50 devices on display. In this section there are models such as boxes and cases pressed in various materials. The prime box camera was created around 1890, continued developing until 1960 with the Brownie series. They are the devices that brought photography to all families because of their low cost and simplicity. Kodak's slogan was, "You press the button, we do the rest." The users would give the camera for processing and Kodak would return the camera with a new film inside. Among the many models on exhibit in this section, there is the box Medalist and the box No. 2 Brownie from 1924. The Medalist and the Medalist 2 were high-quality cameras that gave 8 poses, 6x9. They were created and produced entirely in the USA from 1941, with added flash, self-timing telemeter and adjustment for focus. These models were used by the US forces during the war. They represented the peak of design for American cameras, in contrast to the German one. They are cumbersome but solid, made from top quality materials with innovative solutions such as a telemeter without silver mirrors, but with 2 windows positioned symmetrically that allow extremely accurate focus. The second camera to focus attention on is the Kodak Brownie 2 Model F. It is a box camera and the oldest of the series as it dates to 1924. These were durable and low cost, around $1, which would be the equivalent to around $30 today. They were constructed in either cardboard or thin aluminium sheets with simple lenses and used 620 film, such as the actual format 6x6. They had a meniscus focus of 100mm, a visual range of 45 degrees, 3 apertures with a diaphragm f16, 22 and 32. The third section concerns the so-called folding, truly a folding camera. With 115 devices, it was constructed from 1900 to 1960 and they constitute the major part of the museum. The camera, that is very compact when closed, can be extended using the folded bellows to obtain the perfect focus. These cameras dominated the market until the 40s, with many models, around 200, built in different countries of the world. After the 40s, technological progress with regards to the focus helped improve magnification and the quality of the images, and the use of smaller negatives made the cameras less cumbersome and more practical. For example, the focus for the format 120 mounted on the reflex with 2 lenses. In this section we can highlight the No. 3 folding pocket, 4 folding pocket Model B, the Kodak Petite, the Tourist and the Regent. The No. 3 folding pocket was created in 1898 and had various modifications over the years, both aesthetic and technical. The Model A is the first version with accessories for the interchangeable back, for use with either film or plates. It used 118 3¼ inch by 4¼ inch film and had a rectilinear rapid focus and Kodak automatic shutter. Up to 1915, a total of 288,000 pieces were produced in their various versions. The number 4 folding pocket Model B was introduced in 1907 and was produced in various versions until 1915. It has an aluminium body with a leather covering. It used the Kodak 126 film roll. The type on exhibit is 4 inch by 5 inch with a rectilinear rapid Bausch & Lomb focus and a Kodak automatic shutter. In all, only 28,000 pieces were produced, therefore it is a rare and much sought after camera. In any case, it is the biggest folding camera built by Kodak. Another interesting model present in the museum is the Petite Kodak, a small folding camera for 127 film that derived from the vest pocket Model B. It was introduced in 1929 with a marketing campaign directed at women due to its elegant design and production in 5 different colours: blue, grey, green, lavender and antique rose. A series was also produced with a linked lipstick which was sold with a small purse, something done exclusively for the ladies at that time. It is an article much sought after by collectors. One of the last models produced by Kodak is the Tourist II. Its production began in 1951 and finished in 1958. It used the 620 film roll with an option for the 628. It had 28 by 40 mm exposure. The usual characteristics of the Tourist are its back equipped with bolts skillfully designed to allow its removal in order for it to be used with a kit for 4 different formats while using the same roll of film. This particular accessory is present in the museum. Probably one of the cameras that is most associated with the Kodak brand is the Regent, produced by Kodak AG in Stuttgart in the building of Ex-Nagel. Around 10,000 pieces were produced from 1935 to 1939. The foldable camera body is covered with fine-grained Moroccan leather and closes to a soap-like shape. It uses 620 film in double format, 6 by 9 and 4.5 by 6, using a special mask. The viewfinder has 2 masking elements for the smallest format. It has a telemeter located alongside the folding viewfinder. The focus used were the Schneider Zenar f4.5 or 3.8 and one Zeiss Tessar f4.5 with a Compure S or a Compure Rapid shutter. The camera is solid and well finished with very robust foldable parts. It is a rare and valuable collector's piece. The 4th section comprises of 46 pieces of small box cameras that range from the 1940s to 1980s and displays items targeted at mass consumption. Notably, the Instamatic series 126 format transformed photography into a phenomenon for the masses when the company produced 70 million cameras. Another strange format is the 126, which was produced until the 80s because it was such a miniature device it could be stored in a pocket. In 1983, the Kodak disc was created with 8 by 10 mm negatives. However, it produced grainy images, and so the production was stopped in 1988. There are many more things to say about the story of George Eastman and of his numerous inventions, but if you have the opportunity to visit this particular museum, you would understand much better the man and his story.